Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
We're reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 1, the Manus, Administrators of the Universe. So we read text 4. Nobody has, you have one.
Machines.
Usually there are machines out.
Huh?
Usually there are machines out.
Yeah. Into the digital age here.
Yeah, 8, Canto 8, Chapter 1, Text 4. Shri Rishiruvacha Manavo Asmin Yatita Shat Manavosmin Yatita Shat
Manavosmin Yatita Shat
Kalpe
Swayambhuva Adayaha
Kalpe
Swayambhuva Adayaha Adyas Te Katito Yatra Adyas Te Katito Yatra Devadinam Cha Sambhavam Devadinam Cha Sambhavaha Shri Rishiruvacha
Manavosmin Yatita Shat
Manavosmin Yatita Shat
Kalpe Swayambhuvadayaha Adyaste Katito Yatra Devadinam Cha Sambhavaha Shri Rishiruvacha Manavosmin Yatita Shat Kalpe Swayambhuvadayaha Adyaste Katito Yatra Devadinam Cha Sambhavaha
Shri Rishya Uvacha Manavosmin Yatita Shat Kalpe Swayambhuvadayaha Adyaste Katito Yatra Devadinam Cha Sambhavaha
Shri Rishiruvacha
Shri Rishya Uvacha
Manavosmin Yatita
Shat
Kalpe Swayambhuvadayaha Adyaste Katito Yatra Devadinam Cha Sambhavaha
Shri Rishiruvacha Manavosmin Yatita Shat Kalpe Swayambhuvadayaha Adyaste Katito Yatra Devadinam Cha Sambhavaha Shri Rishya Uvacha Manavosmin Yatita Shat Kalpe Swayambhuvadayaha Adyaste Katito Yatra Devadinam Cha Sambhavaha
Shri Rishiruvacha Uvacha.
Shri Rishi Uvacha.
The great saint Shukadeva Goswami said,
The great saint Shukadeva Goswami said,
Manavaha,
Manavaha,
Manus,
Manus,
Asmin, during this period,
during this period,
one day of Brahma,
one day of Brahma,
Yatitaha, already passed,
Shat,
six, Kalpe,
Kalpe,
in this duration of Brahma's day,
in this duration of Brahma's day,
Swayambhuva,
Swayambhuva,
Manu,
Manu,
Adaya,
and
others,
Ajya,
the first one, Swayambhuva,
first one Swayambhuva,
Te, unto you,
Katita,
I have already described,
Yatra, wherein,
Deva
Adinam,
of all the demigods,
Cha, also, Sambhava,
the appearance. Translation. Shukadeva Goswami said, in the present kalpa there have already been 6 manus. I have described to you Swayambhuva Manu and the appearance of many demigods. In this kalpa of Brahma, Swayambhuva is the first Manu. Read text 5 and 6 also. Akutyam devahutyam cha duvitros tasya vaimano dharmagyano padeshartam bhagavantu tratam gata. Swayambhuva Manu had 2 daughters named Akuti and Devahuti. From their wombs the Supreme Personality of Godhead appeared as 2 sons named Yagyamurti and Kapila respectively. These sons were entrusted with preaching about religion and knowledge. Purport. Devahuti's son was known as Kapila and Akuti's son was known as Yagyamurti. Both of them taught about religion and philosophical knowledge. Text 6. Kritam pura bhagavata kapilasya nuvarnitam akyasye bhagavan yajyo yachakara kurusaha. O best of the Kurus, I have already described in the 3rd canto the activities of Kapila, the son of Devahuti. Now I shall describe the activities of Jagyapati, the son of Akuti. Viraktakama bhogeshu shatarupapati prabhu visrija rajan tapase Sararyo Anamavisha. Swayambhuva Manu, the husband of Shatarupa, was by nature not at all attached to the enjoyment of the senses. Thus he gave up his kingdom of sense enjoyment and entered the forest with his wife to practice austerities. Purport. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, Yavam Parampara Praptam Imam Rara Shivo Vidu. The supreme science was thus received through the chain of descending succession, and the saintly kings understood it in that way. All the Manus were perfect kings, they were Rajarshis. In other words, although they held posts as kings of the world, they were as good as great saints. Swayambhuva Manu, for example, was the emperor of the world, yet he had no desire for sense gratification. This is the meaning of monarchy. The king of the country or the emperor of the empire must be so trained that by nature he renounces sense gratification. It is not that because one becomes king, he should unnecessarily spend money for sense gratification. As soon as kings became degraded, spending money for sense gratification, they were lost. Similarly, at the present moment, monarchy having been lost, the people have created democracy, which is also failing. Now, by the laws of nature, the time is coming when dictatorship will put the citizens into more and more difficulty. If the king or dictator individually or the members of the government collectively cannot maintain the state or kingdom according to the rules of Manu Samhita, certainly their government will not endure. It is mentioned here about kings and governmental people. They should not be attached to sense gratification. And so this is not the case now. They are very attached to sense gratification. I know that in school, President Kennedy, he was very famous in America. And he was such a good person, supposedly, yeah, he had like an air of, he was young and he had a beautiful wife and he was so packa, in material sense. But then I heard from the person that actually had, what do you say in English? Orgies? Okay. Yeah. 50 naked women in the swimming pool in the White House, and they, I don't know what they were taking, not only alcohol but other things also. So this was President of America, and now it's probably even worse. So the degradation of leadership has gone very, very far in Kali Yuga. And so these verses, they are speaking about Svayambhuva Manu, who was like not just a governmental leader, but they are Manus, and they are listed as incarnations of Krishna. We have Purusha Avatar, Yoga Avatar, and Lila Avatars, Manu Avatars, that means all the Manus. They were very special personalities. And Shakti Avatar, what is it more? Anyway, so there are 6 kinds of avatars. And so the Manus, they are avatars. And as it was also mentioned here in this verse, that Evam Parampara Praptam Imam Raja Shayovidu Sayana Sarutku
Kalina.
No, yeah, actually that's the second verse. The first verse, Imam Raja Shayovidu. Somebody knows?
Imam Parampara.
No, the first verse.
Imam Vilasvati Yogam.
Imam Raja Shayovidu Anyway, that is mentioned also Manu.
Imam Vilasvati Yogam.
Imam Vilasvati Yogam. Yoga Pratam Brava.
Så var den.
Viva Samman Praha. Memory is not clear. Imam Vivasvati Yogam Praktavarana Hamargayam Vivasvan Manavetraha Manu Rikshvata Vedravik. The personality of God, Lord Shri Krishna said, I instructed these imperishable signs of yoga to the sun god Vivasvan, and Vivasvan instructed it to Manu, the father of mankind, and Manu in turn instructed it to Ikshvata. So, and then this other verse also says that thus this knowledge was received through this chain of disciple succession. But in course of time, the succession was broken, and therefore the science as it is appears to be lost. So this disciple succession is something very, very important in our tradition. That the same knowledge is given to the next generation. And as Krishna says here, the succession was broken, therefore the science as it is appears to be lost. So we have also this example of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He was it Venkata Bhatta, some devotee who was actually criticizing Sridhar Swami.
Vallabhavata.
Vallabhavata, yes. And so he was claiming that he could make better commentaries on Srimad Bhagavatam than Sridhar Swami. He had some criticism, and although he was actually the devotee of Lord Chaitanya, Vallabhavata, So it is a. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was not at all pleased that he wanted to make a better commentary, but he said that he is not chaste to the Swami, to the predecessors. So this is, we can see that Lord Chaitanya gave importance to the succession and commentaries of the acharyas, because it is this is how spiritual knowledge is received, like this, from one generation to the other. Books are the basis. The senses are not the basis. This is what the scientists want us to believe. This is, I think I read in school something like somebody called Francis Bacon. Have you heard about him? Yeah. He says that anything which you cannot put numbers on is not knowledge. So this is empiric understanding of knowledge. So these ideas have been more and more evolved through the century, from the 17th century and onwards. And so the people don't believe in Shastra. They don't believe in revelation. They just believe in what their senses can tell them. If you make a scientific investigation, then you must put some figures on it. Of course, there is some other tradition also within material science, but they are also criticized very much. When they come into psychology, then it's more difficult to put numbers on things. But you can always, you can have a lot of people saying the same thing, and then you can put numbers on it. So in our tradition, also if we want to prove this knowledge by scientific experiment, it's not really possible. We may have this understanding that Krishna says that the sages and the scriptures, they are authorities, and the scriptures say that Krishna is authority. So it's a circular argument. So we cannot accept this. You have to. There is in our we have one person who is doing PhD. He's writing something about atheists, and he has some good stories about atheists. That they understand that religion is very good for making communities and a feeling of togetherness. So they also want to make a religion out of atheism. And then in such a meeting, there was one man, he was standing up and screaming more or less that, God, if you exist, show yourself now. And of course, God did not show himself, because he's not under the thumb of some materialist. So this understanding that we can prove God by some experiment, that means that this way of doing research, so to say, is superior, and that the test, so to say, is superior to God. But God is the other way around. We have, although we have material senses, and some of them, 5 of them are called knowledge-acquiring senses. But still, Krishna is the authority, and the scriptures, and they are revealed like this. So that is the basis And Prabhupada said that books are the basis, because books are it's the scriptures, the Vedas, and Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Shastra, and that's the basis. And we know that Prabhupada in Ishopanishad, he very clearly made the books the basis by saying that the conditioned soul have 4 defects. He has imperfect senses, so the materialists, they claim that the senses are is the basis of knowledge. But Prabhupada says there in the beginning of Shri Upanishad, the conditioned soul has imperfect senses. He is in illusion. He thinks that he is his body. And the materialists and the scientists, they also think that they are body. They make mistake. The conditioned soul is making mistakes, and he is also prone to cheat others. So how can perfect knowledge come from such a person or persons? So perfect knowledge comes from Shastra and those who are actually understood Shastra. As devotees, we are supposed to become Shastra Chakshush, Shastra Chakshusha, seeing through Shastra. Because that is real knowledge. So that is first theoretical knowledge. We understand theoretically that we are spirit soul and that Krishna is existing beyond this material creation and so on. And then we're supposed to realize that and having realized knowledge, vijnana. So this is the whole process of Krishna consciousness, to actually realize this basic knowledge. And we know that the way in Kali Yuga, the way to realize this knowledge that is described in the basic knowledge, which is described in Bhagavad Gita, is to chant the holy names of Krishna, chant the holy names, Mahamantra. This is also a result of approaching the bona fide spiritual master, Tadvidi Pranipatira, and so on, that if we approach the spiritual master, he will ask us to chant Hare Krishna and follow in the footsteps of the previous acharyas and so on. So we will chant Hare Krishna, and then we will realize that all living entities are part and parcel of Krishna, and in this way we will, as HG Prabhu is saying, that stop worrying and start living. So instead of being, we can see that Krishna is, all the living entities are part and parcel of Krishna. It is that, which was that 4:35. Having obtained real knowledge from a self-real soul, you will never fall again into such illusion. For by this knowledge you will see that all living beings are but part of the Supreme, or in other words, that they are mine. So we are all part and parcel of Krishna, and also this is a loving relationship. As you say in Danish, it is integrerede delar.
Integrated in, yeah.
Yeah. Integrated, how is the part, we say in English, part and parcel of the Supreme. So it is an intimate relationship with the Supreme, and the spiritual master is revealing that relationship to the Supreme. So we are we just want to get to some point. So we are chanting the holy names we have this intimate relationship with Krishna. Krishna Surya Sam Maya and that if we are, Krishna is like the sun and Maya is like darkness. Wherever there is the sun or light, there is no darkness. And wherever there is Krishna, there is no Maya. So to become Krishna conscious means that we are enlightened in knowledge. And in that way we can also become happy. Nasti buddhir ayuktasya, nacha yuktasya bhavana, ashantasya kutasakam, the last line I don't know, but I don't remember. Without being connected with Krishna, in Krishna consciousness, one can have neither steady mind nor transcendental intelligence, without which peace is impossible. And how can there be happiness without peace? So Krishna consciousness if we become Krishna conscious, the more we become Krishna conscious, the more we have knowledge, and we will also be steady in our mind. Some devotee told me yesterday that it is so important that the devotees are steady in the yatra, so that things are going on year after year and more people can come. So to be steady in the mind and to have transcendental intelligence, that means intelligence from Shastra, that we see things through Shastra. And in this way we are happy, we can become happy. Prabhupada, he said that the hippies became happy and stay high forever. So we are trying to leave the desire for sense gratification and of course the indulgence in sense gratification, as it was said here, that Sadhu Mani and his wife, they were not attached to enjoyment of the senses, and thus they gave up the kingdom of sense enjoyment and entered the forest with his wife to practice austerities. So we have to practice austerities, and in Krishna consciousness, in this the program that Prabhupada gave us, that means that we are just taking Krishna Prasadam, that we are chanting the holy names, we are rising early in the morning, we go to Mangalarti, this whole fantastic program that Prabhupada has given us. So then we can purify our minds and then leave this world of sense gratification, where we think that we are the doer and that we are the joyer and the controller, and we should be servants of the Spirit Master, Srila Prabhupada and Krishna, in a loving exchange, so to say. So there's some verses from HG Prabhu, which I like very much, about chanting the holy names. So he's offering prayer to the holy names with the non-Prabhu, because they are non-different from Krishna. And he's also giving the mind is like the peacock. The peacock is what is called vain. He wants to show his feathers. So the mind wants to glorify itself or us. We are great in different ways. So he says in his